Here first, ShaggyInPoint, of course. Oh, it's saying I'm in fucking. Hold on, we gotta fix this. We got a situation on our hands. Otherwise, we're gonna have to stream it like this. I guess so. Sorry, guys, I don't have a really good fucking thing to hold the screen. Perfect. Alright. Well, yeah, guys. If anyone wants to load up the live chat, too, I'll just fucking read it off as we go. If people want help with. And then we'll play this fucking video as well. So you want to start that? They said bring up the SATA cables for the hard drives, which you got two, correct? You got a solid state, and then you got an HD.
Yeah, they're both in that tub. Velcro.
Terabytes, nice.
I don't got a stand for this, so.
You're good. If you want.
You might need to consult it at some point. And then the other stuff on here, these are just sort of like tools that I use when building a computer. The only one you absolutely need, well, let me get the CPU out of here. Cool, really. So we've got the one you really need is a screwdriver. You need a Phillips head screwdriver. This is a number 2 Phillips head screwdriver. Any sort of length will do, but I generally prefer a slightly longer one. Just to makes it a little bit easier when screwing in screws and stuff. But magnetic tip also helps a lot. Not required, but definitely appreciated. Makes things a bit easier. And then we've also got some cable management accessories here. So zip ties. Generally, there's at least one or two
Velcros for the VCR.
Build that will come with zip ties, but they're usually very few of them, and they're not like the right length, or they're too cheap and stuff like that. So I have my own on hand. Again, this is not necessary.
Ram, hell yeah.
It's a cleaner build for the cable management part, and then I've got some Velcro ties in case I need it.
Make sure you touch this metal right here, just in case if you got any electric static, that if I touch you, it shocks you. It could shorten out these parts. So make sure, yeah, you got it. You're good. As long as you touch it once, you're golden.
Just hold your hand to it the whole time.
We can actually install our CPU. Alright, so here's a close-up look at our CPU socket, and this is basically where the CPU gets physically mounted or inserted on the motherboard. And this one in particular is the AM4 socket. AM4 is only compatible with AMD Ryzen CPUs. At least
that's
at the time
AM4.
So don't bother putting in a non-Ryzen AMD chip or an Intel chip, God forbid. Bad things will happen if you do. So stick to Ryzen for AM4 and you'll be good to go. So if you are building an Intel rig right now, I would suggest going to some sort of tutorial. Maybe I'll link one. I'll put a card somewhere if I can find a good tutorial on how to do that on the Intel platform. But for ZIF sockets, for
$200 for the CPU and the sticker.
All you do is lift up this bar here. There's a little bar that's got a little latch. Kind of got to push it to the side a little bit and then lift it up like so. And then get your CPU out. I will remind you guys not to leave any fingerprints on your CPU, particularly on the top. You don't want to do this top heat.
You want that oil on there?
That's a no-no. You want to grab it from the sides. So here's the CPU. All right, you can grab the edges. Edges are fine. Also,
I see the arrow.
Touch the golden contacts, the golden pins.
You see the arrow?
Yeah, on the bottom. All right, that's a no-no as well. It's very important. You want to keep that as clean as possible.
Get all these oils off my hands.
You want to take note of the golden triangle. There's a golden triangle on one of the corners of the CPU. And you want to match that with the small, tiny-ass triangle in the corner of the socket. You can see there's a tiny corner.
You want to do this? Hey, I can do it, but give me a sec.
Maybe you should get some gloves or something. You got like some nylon gloves that way?
Yeah, as long as I have a fabric on my hand, I don't want to, like, if it drops, I want to be able to, catch it right here, and I don't want the oils to touch that,
That the pins, you have pins on the bottom, and you have pin holes.
Yeah, because I feel like I'm going to touch the back of it.
You're going to be slotting all those pins in all those holes. And then it should just drop down. It should feel snug. It should feel like it's in there. And you can give it a little wiggle to make sure that it's fully down. Looks good.
Can't touch nothing but the sides on there.
No, you really, I mean, honestly, dude, when I did mine, I touched the fuck out of it. And it's still gold. I didn't touch the fuck out of it, but, like, I did touch the sides a little bit.
Once the lever locks back into place, voila, you've just installed.
You just installed your CPU. Alright, so I'm assuming this is where the arrow, yep, I see it. It should just fall right in there.
Clamp her down.
Damn. No, Journey, you just installed your CPU, as you said.
Okay.
A CPU. Now, some CPUs, including the one that we're using today, come included with a stock cooler.
Yes, it does, sir.
This one in particular comes with the AMD Wraith Spire, which is a fantastic stock cooler. But we're using something a little bit better. We're using that knock-to cooler that I mentioned earlier at the beginning of the video. So we actually don't need these mounting bars. These mounting bars on either side of the socket, those are for the stock cooler.
You can take those off right now because we're gonna have to eventually.
So we're gonna actually remove these by unscrewing
Careful.
each of the screws. There's 2 screws on
Hopefully I
either
didn't do
side.
any damage.
And upon removing
Sounded
them,
like it did.
the mounting bracket should pop off just like that.
Where's that flashlight?
Same thing for the other side.
So
So
fucking
we're going to want
tight.
to keep the AM4 backplate in place because that's how we're going to mount our third-party air cooler here. And this is where things get a little tricky because there's no standard method for installing CPU coolers. It all sort of differs based on the
Why are
manufacturer.
they on there so
The
tight?
stock to a cooler installation
What's that?
will be vastly different
So they're on
than
there so
an
tight.
NZXT cooler.
You might have to go a little hard.
Versus
Don't
a
go a
Fantex
little.
cooler, Corsair cooler, and so forth. So this is really the only part in the build where I'm going to have to leave you guys on your own, I promise.
Actually, you need to
So
flush,
at this point,
though.
I want you to
What I would do
consider
is take it off this case.
with your air cooler or liquid cooler and follow it to a T. Follow the instructions there, and you should be good to go. Make sure that you're also following the instructions in that manual that pertain to your.
Yikes, guys.
So again, we're running AM4 right here. If you're using LGA 1155 with Intel or LGA 2011, then you want to make sure that you're reading the right.
Is that a different
instructions for that
screwdriver?
socket. But before I let you go and off to your own installation with the cooler, I will teach you how to apply thermal paste. And it's fairly simple. Thermal paste is basically a thermal interface material that basically is a heat conductor between the heat spreader of the CPU and the base plate of your cooler. It basically allows for heat transfer between your CPU and the cooler so that you get better absorption, better dissipation, and superior thermals. If you don't use thermal paste, you're going to have a bad day.
This don't be super loose now.
Want to
Oh my
use the
gosh.
proper application of thermal paste. So, what you want to do, I have a little plunger here.
Why is homie fucking... I don't want to really put the CPU in now. Because it's going to be heavy as fuck when we put it in. I mean, it really don't matter, actually. Because if we have this laying down, we could just drop it in there.
Yeah.
LGA 1151, for example, and similar. It's a smaller chip, and you don't really need that much. Ryzen's slightly bigger of the heat spreader, so we're gonna do the green tea method. The green tea method is slightly bigger than the green rice. Bada bing, bada boom.
So you got thermal paste?
All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Ideally, the
Yeah,
theory
that's it.
here is that once you push this thing down, once you smack it down on the CPU, it's just going to spread it across the entire heat spreader. And so you'll actually get much fuller coverage than what it looks like right now. So on that note, why don't you go ahead and install your CPU cooler while I install mine, and we'll
You need this?
Yeah, we're going to install it. He's doing it. We're just going to follow it. That's a little bit too much.
That's fine. Unless if you want to dab it out.
I think there's a fucking hair on there, dude. I mean, it'll just burn away. You see that?
Yeah, whatever. Thermal paste it in.
Alright, next step is we need
Here you go.
Sorry, bro. I hit you up, but you didn't respond.
oh shit.
Can I buy a bag from you right away, bro?
Yeah, bro, I got you. Do you want to actually?
I only got 30 right now, bro. Bro, so you really just gonna tell Timmy that it just didn't come, bro? I wouldn't.
I don't know. I'll talk to Timmy about it.
That's exactly what I agree when I fucking tell him I say it's not so good.
Is that bowl empty?
Yeah, I
Can I
think
put something in it?
if you want to.
Fucking crack. I'm just kidding.
Just toss some, yeah, just toss some Tony G.
You sure?
Yeah. 2 G's right there.
Listen,
I think you're baggy.
I got it.
For sure.
Alright, you're
You too, man. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is, he said just slap it on there. I don't want to just slap it on there.
Why not?
Yeah, I don't got the right tool, so we might as well just slap the bitch on there. Alright, it's not a lot.
Which way does this go on there, though? AMD up? Same way as the Ryzen?
So the way it's gonna sit in there.
Does it really matter because it's just a cooler?
I mean, honestly, no, it really does not matter at all.
Then yeah, I think we should maybe because of the RAM, we'll get in the way of the
Like
RAM.
that?
Yeah, will I get in the way of the RAM or no?
Nah, you should be good.
Okay, then yeah.
I think you're right. The RAM sits right there.
Or should we have it that? You know what? I'm worried about that part right there, blocking my RAM.
We could go it this way.
Yeah.
I lined up over there.
Sure. So.
Can't fucking see what Adam said. Yeah, it looks just about lined up.
Bet. Alright, then we're gonna need. You got one screwdriver? Here.
So, Peters.
Is it quite lined up? No, it looks like it is.
God damn it, I remember this fucker on my computer now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is this the same fan you got on yours?
No, I got a cooler on there. A water cooler instead.
Really?
Yeah.
Why does it sound like that?
That's the springs. There's, you see those
Yeah.
springs right there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like horrible.
Damn, it's tight. Wow. That was so much easier than my fucking. Because we tried putting this on, me and Bob did. And it just. Negative.
Hopefully that cord is in a good spot. It probably will be because it's right there as well.
That's tight. Alright. Here's your phone. I don't know if you want to unlock it. I don't know if there's a password. I can't fucking figure it out. Fucking iPhone. Galaxy gang.
It's face.
Afterwards. Sound good?
Scan.
All right, go for it. Good luck. I believe in you.
Whatever,
All
dude.
right, moving on to the memory. So, installing the memory is one of the easier parts about building a PC, but there are a couple things to be aware of. The first of which is that you have these 4 DIMM slots, at least on this motherboard, there are 4 DIMM slots that you can actually
This
populate.
one.
And they can actually be covered or blocked if you have too big of an air CPU cooler.
Yup.
Now, this one
put
is
this
fairly
this
slim,
way.
so we're not running into any clearance issues, but you might have one that's too large and kind of encroaching on these leftmost
Yeah, it's very common.
DIMM slots. And that could be an issue. Hopefully, if yours is only encroached because there's a fan on the side, you should be able to pop the fan off and it'll give you more open access to those DIMM slots, and you can go ahead and install your memory modules. But if you are just running into some issues and there's no way around it, it's possible that you've just got some incompatible RAM that is just too tall. The heat spreaders on the RAM, which is the black enclosure that you see
Should I
here,
put them on the 2 and 4?
is just too
Yeah, I
tall
believe so, but let me
for the
check.
model of CPU core that you purchased. You might want to look into that online, do some research to make sure that it is incompatible before you send things back and stuff. But that can occur from time to time. Assuming though that you don't have any clearance issues and that you have free access to all these DIMM slots, you want to consult your motherboard manual to find out which of these slots should be populated.
Do we need the motherboard manual?
It does matter.
What's that?
No matter if you
Do we
have
need the
one stick,
motherboard
4
manual,
sticks,
or-
or 8 sticks.
If you got it,
Make sure
yeah.
You're putting them in the right slots. The only way to find that out is through the manual. So once you've done that, I've already found out that mine, my 2 sticks that I had here should be going in the second and the 4.
Yeah, it's 2 and 4 because that's what mine are in.
That I'll figure it out. The next
Yeah,
thing
you're
I wanna
good.
do
Mine's
is
2 and 4 as
install these
well.
suckers is I want to pull
So-
down
All this shit, I didn't even know. I didn't even look at the bottom of this box yet.
In this instance, there's side
Like
by
what,
side
RAM
both
too?
sides of each DIMM slot. Some motherboards
What is this?
only
I don't know,
have
it comes with
a
this.
down latch on one
Wi-Fi
side.
antenna installation.
That applies to you. Don't try to force one of the sides down. It's probably just not meant to move. But in this case, both of them bolt on either side. Now, before you install these suckers, you want to make note of the little notch that's the bottom of the module. You can see it right there. It's off center, which means that the
You gonna install those?
Yeah.
So you wanna put that on real quick?
I don't think there's. Oh yeah, there is.
What's your phone prop?
Right.
Alright, so 2 and 4?
Okay. 2 and 4. Here, let me get the light. Where's that flashlight?
It's right there by my foot.
You want I can hold it?
I got one down. I don't think this side goes down. Nope. Only one side pushes down at least. On this motherboard.
They should just fall down.
Don't force anything. There it goes. Looks like.
It's supposed to clamp back up. Needs like a little sliver more, it looks like.
You need to push it down further.
Yeah, I do. I see there. But this RAM slot needs to go down too. That's so weird. These sides don't fall down. That's a first.
Yeah, what the hell?
Sit on that side now. Doesn't want to go in on this side.
Here, let's try going like straight down with it.
For sure.
I'll try using this one though.
Oh my God.
Like, I feel like it should just go straight down, you know? Where's Bob at? Ain't nothing to it. Let's do it.
Yeah, I don't think these do move. Because they look way, yeah, they do not move. Aha. What the fuck? No, wrong. Oh, wait. You back a little bit. Nope, wrong one. That's the first one. There you
Oh,
go.
you need the second one?
Yep, second and fourth. Gotta make sure they're going down even.
Just doesn't want to.
We'll keep fucking with it.
Try even pressure throughout the entire piece.
I'd pull it back up. It looks a little uneven right now. I'm gonna try that bad boy. Let's see what I can
It
do.
hurts my back. Leaning over that much.
You got it backwards.
No, because if you put it this way, they don't line up. The teeth doesn't line up.
How the fuck will it go in?
I might have to apply a bit of pressure, not too much, but
There you go.
yeah, bad boys in.
Sounds like it, son. Jesus Christ, you had to apply a lot of pressure.
Wasn't too much. You see how on this side those teeth were all the way in? Yeah. Oh shit. Oh shit. Make sure you get that right side down first. It looked like this side. There you go. Now push the rest in. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Perfect. There.
Gotta show it's who's boss, huh?
Right.
It's starting to look clean, yo.
Alright, let's fucking continue playing this video and let's find out what's next. Pump fan 1, I believe.
I'm just gonna pay you guys to put my PC together. Fuck this shit.
I believe this is going in pump
These
fan
are
1.
keyed PCBs, which means they can only go in a certain way. So you want to match that notch up with the notch that's in the DIMM slot itself, just to ensure that you're plugging it in the right way. Otherwise, you could damage the module. So once you've got that
CPU
figured
fan.
out, go ahead and line it up, and applying equal pressure on both sides of the stick. You want to apply force downward until both of those side latches that you popped down earlier snap
hold
back
that real quick,
into
Jeremy.
place. So we just did the first one. Let's do it again for this guy. Even pressure downward, and voila!
Decent.
You can see that the latches, all four of the latches, are completely upright where they were before. So memory installation complete. Very straightforward and simple. Let's move on to the next step. All right, we've got our case now. So go ahead and get your case out of the box. Be careful with it, especially if you've got something like a tempered glass side panel. It can be very fragile. And what we need to do is sort of prep our case so that we can fit our now prepped motherboard snugly inside of it. So I'm going to go ahead and take
This was
off
before starting. So.
this side panel. Now, if you guys have a more conventional side panel that's not tempered glass, you probably don't have these 4 thumb screws directly on the side. You probably have 2 thumb screws on the back or something similar, depending on the case. So go ahead and remove the side panel carefully. Be especially careful. I mean, whether or not you have tempered glass, you should still be
Okay,
careful if you have like an acrylic side panel window or something like that, because they can scratch very easily. I would advise leaving the plastic wrap on the side panel window until you're absolutely done, 100% complete with the build. I know it's second you see it, go, ooh, ah. But trust me, it'll thank me later.
Screwdriver.
It's not worth it. Now, I'm also going to remove the backside panel, and you guys should too, just in case you find
I don't think there's gonna
any
be anything in here, but
accessories back there. A lot of times case vendors like to put the accessories
Gonna put that
inside
in
of
the
the case.
screw
They like
thing?
to hide them either in the drive cage or in the power supply shroud somewhere. But go ahead and take your accessories out. You will be needing them very soon. In fact, right now. Let's go ahead and put the case on its side so that the main side is facing up and the back side is facing down. Boom. And here's where you want to bust out your motherboard I/O shield that I told you to remove from your motherboard box earlier. Take it out of the plastic wrapping, like so. It's like an ASMR video now. And you want to make sure that you line this up properly. Generally, the shiny side, if there's a shiny side, is going to face inside, inward of your case. And the really nice outside, or the really nice part is going to be outside. You can see it. And
Fucking
the way
morons.
this goes, so you already know it's going to go either this way or this way, right? The shiny side inside. Now it's just a matter of which way does that go. You can just line it up with your motherboard, or I can just tell you a rule of thumb. Where you see the little circles, all the little
Where you
audio
think
circles,
those
that's
should
going to
go.
go
You're gonna wanna-
towards the bottom of the case.
Great, that's a good
That's
question.
pretty much the best way to tell. And then just go ahead and pop it in. This can be a little
Keep them
tricky
on the end because I'm assuming these are going to
once
connect to
you
the
pop this
motherboard.
in, and it's sort of, you have to kind of do it by feel,
keep them on the
by
end.
sound. So you hear
Yeah.
that?
Let me see
That's
what these
sort
actually
of
I
are.
was gonna say maybe we could have it
You
go
want to
around
just
through
double
here.
check, get them look really closely to make sure that the entire perimeter of your I/O shield is flush. So you just want to double check, push it firmly around the edges, make sure it's all good in there. All right, now before you get too excited and go about installing your motherboard, there's a couple things to mention here. First of which, if you are using an air CPU cooler tower sort of thing, like I am right here, then this doesn't really apply to you. But for those of you using liquid-cooled AIOs of any kind that have radiators and things like that, you want to make a note of whether or not it makes sense to install your motherboard first before you install your radiator. It can kind of depend. For the most part, I would say the rule of thumb is you install your motherboard first and then your radiator, but there are some instances where the reverse is true and makes more sense for that particular configuration. So you just want to sort of think it through. If you're not
We're
sure,
gonna
maybe
put it on
look
the
up
side,
certain
so-
manuals to see what they suggest, or if it's not there, look online. But that is something to know. The other important thing to note before you install your motherboard is that you have your motherboard standoff installed. Now, NZXT has already announced the solid of pre-installing these, and these are these little metal pegs that are sticking out of the motherboard tray that give your motherboard a little bit of lift. It kind of prevents the trace layouts on the back of your motherboard making contact with the steel surface of the case itself to prevent any sort of shortages and things like that. So it's very important that you have these in place. Again, NZXT's already put them here, and if you're lucky, you'll actually get one in the middle, a peg in the middle it's got a little bit of a tit on it, a little bit of a lift off. It's a little bit taller than the other ones. It looks a little different than the other guys. And that's just so that you can have something to latch onto. There's obviously a hole in the middle of your motherboard that will latch onto that middle peg when you're putting it into place and just sort of lock it and freeze it so that it's easier to work with and more stable. It's not moving around and stuff. It's really nice to have one of those. But if you
Is that gonna fit?
no worries, you can still get by. Now, the other thing to be aware of is that not
You're gonna move all
all
those cords.
standoffs should be in the same place for every situation. For example, these are in the ATX configuration for ATX motherboards, which I in fact
I'm
have
trying.
right now. So that's good. So I don't need to change anything here. But let's say you were building for some reason with a micro ATX motherboard and you needed to rearrange the standoffs to accommodate that particular form factor. You can either look in your case manual, or if it's not there, it could be etched directly onto the motherboard tray, where here it says, micro ATX, ATX, ITX, and it gives you sort of a legend, and you can figure out where.
Don't worry about that right now. We're gonna get the screws in first on the motherboard,
Okay.
so it's mounted to the thing. So you're gonna want to.
The wire right here?
What's that?
The wire?
What do you? Oh shit! What wire is that to?
It's for the fan. There we go.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. I'm gonna shine the light in here. Screw over there. Let's see this real quick.
That looks good to me.
Make sure you know.
Hell yeah.
Alright, so now we're gonna put those screws back in here. Remember which screws went in where?
Wait, I took screws out of where?
Oh wait, maybe you didn't. No, there was no screws on here. The motherboard. Where's that motherboard case?
These screws were with my PC case. I think these might be the screws.
Oh, yeah, you're right. These are it. Glass panel.
Yeah, baby. Hopefully I didn't damage my motherboard earlier on screwing that.
No, you shouldn't have.
Go to plug it and then bam.
Yeah, these are for your motherboard. Okay.
Ain't nothing to it. What to do with it?
These little black ones. Right there. Ain't nothing to it.
Just to do it.
Thanks for rap. Made me do it.
Yes, Speedy. I am your father.
The one that.
Let me go be some.
Ain't that right, Pete?
Alright. So, here's some black screws.
Here's some black screws. I'm gonna get screwing.
I'm gonna hold this in there.
Back. While we screw ourselves to death. Man, I wish we had.
Where's the other screwdriver?
There you go.
Want to hand me one of those black screws?
I put them up there.
The magnetic one?
So we're going right here. And there. All the corners.
Nope. You're gonna have to see the golden. You see how that one's golden right there? That one's golden.
Yep. Any golden?
That one's golden.
Screw holes?
And then there should be one more, I believe.
Alright, look at that.
There should be. Right? 100% should be one more.
Let me touch something metal.
Is yours magnetic?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to use that one though, because this is gonna be a bitch to get in.
Here, shine it over here.
Here, I'll trade you. I'll get that one in. You want to put this other one in, Jordan?
Yeah, be careful though.
Oh shit, no.
You know,
Switch
fucked
sides.
up now.
I think I went in there.
There you go.
You're gonna. Oh, is that the one that was in there?
Yeah.
No, what I was saying is you should set these screws in, and then I could have went through.
Oh, unscrewed them in. Yeah, it was crooked anyway, so. You gotta make sure you get it in there straight, you know, so you don't strip it up. It's hard as fuck to do this on a.
Magnetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see what right there. Maybe not. No, I can get that.
Want to put the rest of those screws in and
Nice.
I don't think those are all the same screws though.
They aren't the same kind of screws. They aren't. What kind is that one that you put in?
The circular head.
Okay. Alright, let me get that light over in this corner. It's just sticking, goddammit.
I can tighten it if you want to go to the next one.
Alright, hear ye, Adam.
Coming around.
There's that one right there. That's not in it.
Maybe there is only 3 because I didn't see any more.
There's got to be another one somewhere.
That's what I'm saying. Usually there is 4, but
Somewhere right in the middle, maybe?
that's what I was thinking. Because this one's right in the middle too. I feel like that one's just, it's in the middle, yo. There should be more one over here, but yeah, there isn't, dude. That is it. That is legit it.
No way.
For real.
1, 2, 3.
You got that back plate? I think that's it.
Backplate.
Right there. But you know those screws that went through this?
Yeah, they're in that bowl. I hear those tiny screws in there.
No, it's not B.
Okay, I see what we have to do. We're gonna have to take that out again, and we're gonna have to set this in here first, and then it's gonna, you know, so you won't see any of this metal. So yeah, we're gonna have to take this out. Yeah, I know.
Let's get her done.
Once that's done, it's done. You know what I'm saying? I did this on my last computer too.
Oh, at least it's really easy to screw out.
Right, right.
Man, I did this with my cat tree.
Did you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
did something like this.
Petey, go lay down.
You should be able to just take it out, shift it, slide it in.
Yeah, you want to move this over to that side, and then I'm just gonna slide this up.
Picking this up and sliding there?
Yeah, honestly, you should might. Oh yeah,
No,
pick it
I'll
up.
go like that. Fuck, yeah, slide it in if you can right now. Can you?
There's some posts that are gonna need that.
Hold on one sec. There you go. Now you can push it my way. Push it down right there. That's perfect. Everything should be flush. Alright, let's put these screws back in now. You just want to set them and then I'll fucking tighten them.
Alright, yeah. Oh, that's not the one we're using. Shaking there. Shaking bacon. You know, fucked up now.
I can fix it.
I can fix it. I can fix anything. At least there's only 3, not like fucking 6.
5, 6. I think there was like 6 on my motherboard, dude, and we had to take all 6 out.
That sucks. Can always be worse, right? Oh, I like my back. Pretty bad.
One last one.
Drop. Oh shit.
Don't know if that's the kind of screw that we're using, but I don't give a fuck.
You know that Mark II hard drive you had then? It would go on one of these right here.
Really?
Yeah. Your hard drive will probably end up. I think right here. Right down here it can be screwed in.
Nice.
Alright, well we got that fucking mounted on the goddamn board now. Or the board mounted on the goddamn case.
You screwed all those tiny things in the back?
Tiny thing.
For the motherboard?
Shit, what you mean? Oh no, they're in here still.
I'll get that done. I'll watch the next part.
Yeah.
The standoffs go for that particular form factor board. Now then, we can go ahead and mount our motherboard now that that's all out of the way. And I like to grab the motherboard by either side. I really try my best not to grab it by the CPU cooler. That's a bad habit of mine, I know. I need to stop. And I just sort of just push it in there, just gently. I like to look at the back of the motherboard.
That's funny.
Behind the
He's like, don't grab the CPU cooler, and I did. It's a bad habit.
With the IO shield. And
Yeah,
then
he's pretty
if
funny.
all goes well, the middle peg, the lifted peg, will latch on. And voila, the motherboard's done.
Alright, motherfucker, I'm sick of your one. You're going outside.
Going out.
Oh, you fucking gonna stare at me when I'm going outside? Come on.
It's getting hot.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't get this kind of use.
Okay, don't put the case upright. It'll just probably fall out and something will break. We still need to screw it down. So we've got some screws here. You're going to want to get the accessories out that came with your case, with your chassis. And then with your hopefully metallic tip screwdriver. This is where the metallic tip really comes in handy. You're just going to go ahead and screw those down. I should mention, when
There
you're
she
installing
is.
the standoffs underneath, you want to make sure to tighten them, but you don't want to over tighten them because they can strip and then they'll just like do the infinite spin, and that's not good because then these screws won't really go in at all.
Are you still recording this?
Yeah.
And then likewise, when you're screwing
Is it
these
live?
screws, you want to make them snug, but not too snug. Again, because you could strip them, and if you over tighten them, then removing them, when you remove them, you might actually
Got any wraps here or no?
or the standoff might come along with it.
Acid
There's
wraps?
more rain in here
It
now.
can be a pain sometimes
I don't really
to
smoke very much.
work around that. So
Only do
you can
Delta 8.
expect with a standard
Yeah.
ATX motherboard,
We're
Yeah.
supposed to
you'll have to
have
have to input about
the anxiety that hits you, you're gonna get this computer now.
do
There's no reason why it won't work at this point. Nothing's broken. Everything's gonna work.
Raised one.
Let me get a lighter.
If yours is not raised and it looks like all the other ones, then you'll have to put a ninth screw right there. And voila, now we can say our motherboard is properly
Ashtray.
installed. We can put the
Where's
case up if
ashtray?
we want to, which we're going to actually need to do now to install the power supply. All right, so I've got my power supply here, and sure enough, it is partially modular, which means you have some of the essentials that are just hardwired into the power supply, and the accessories, or the peripheral cables, if you will, are separate. So you can plug these in as you see fit, depending on what devices you want connected, which is really nice. Helps clean up cable management a bit. You're only connecting the cables that you need instead of everything.
Motherboard tab. Or not motherboard, but power supply.
Straight over here by my feet. That's gonna look like a freaking beast. when
Power
it's
supplies
done.
goes down there. Or not in that slot. That's where your hard drive's gonna go.
Oh, man. Big honking power supply. 850.
Sticks in the glass. I'm gonna put on some music.
Can't wait to see these RGB lights going up. That bitch, you cannot get in. I'm a secret man.
Big motherfucker.
Got a big ass fan in that hole. A big ass fan. Corsair 850. Kind of weird when it's upside down on this side, but right side up on this side.
Alright.
Sus. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that or not. You want to let him in? What you drinking? Moonshine?
Water. Alright. I'm this fucking mad boy.
I don't know if you want to put the fan upside down or right side up.
No, it's gonna have to go like this. Hold on. Like this. Because if you go like this, I'm pretty sure the fan would be sucking things up from the bottom. You know what I mean? I mean, you could, but there's vents right here. We'll just watch the video and see what he says.
He puts his fan down.
He puts his fan down.
Yes.
Oh, I'm gonna fucking open that. Fuck your
It's
asshole.
face.
And trying to find a place where the ones that you are using.
Face
So
detection.
I've kind of already figured out which ones
And I can't be
need.
asleep
The ones
either.
that are
I need to be
connected are
focused on my
the standard
phone. If
essentials
it's
that
open.
most people will be
Yeah.
using anyway, which is your 24-pin ATX. This goes to your motherboard directly, as does the 8-pin EPS. This is the CPU connector. And then we've also got one for PCI Express. This is for your video card. We've actually got two 8-pin.
You see what y'all need?
Yeah, this is my 24.
And then I just sort of just push it in there, just gently. I like to look at the back of the motherboard.
This is a 24 pin.
We only have to do 8 because the middle standoff is a raised one. But if
I think it's all
not
connected in
raised,
one.
just like all the other ones,
14,
we'll have to put a 9th screw
24, I mean.
right there. And voila, now we can say our motherboard is properly installed. We can put the case up if we want to, which we're going to actually need to do now to install the power supply. All right, so I've got my power supply here, and sure enough, it is partially modular, which means you have some of the
Yours is
essentials that are
modular.
just hardwired into the power supply, and the accessories or the peripheral cables, if you will, are separate. So you can plug these in as you see fit, depending on what devices you want connected, which is.
You see these?
I think this is the top one. Things that are on top. See, this is what I don't fucking know.
Yeah,
about
it's the SATA cable. This is the SATA cable. So this,
This is another SATA cable,
yeah.
but it's shorter. Yeah, 'cause I don't know any about this wiring shit. None of it makes sense to me.
This bitch is gonna go right in there. You see how it fits perfect. He installed one SATA cable. It looked like though, and I believe this is it. All right, guys. Yeah, we've been streaming this. If you guys want to stay tuned, I'll post some pictures on my Twitter account once it's all done. I gotta actually use this phone to do some research and shit. But thank you guys for tuning in. This will probably be completed tonight, more than likely. Thank you guys.